This is Dan with Blue Dog Farms, and Heathcliff is here to help me explain to you our next project. Aren't you, Heathcliff? Heathcliff the goat. So this is the mineral trailer that I move every day to give minerals to the cattle. Now the reason I have the mineral trailer here, it usually just stays out in the field. The reason I have it here is because the cattle will reach across, like say one's over there eating salt and he decides he wants some clay. Rather than walking around, he'll reach across and grab that other tub and pull it over to him with his mouth. And I end up with buckets upside down and dumped out and flung out on the ground because they don't want to walk around the trailer just to get to the other mineral. So I'm going to make some partitions, and since I feed 5 different elements, I'm going to make some partitions, 2 buckets on the right, 2 on the left, and 1 in the very back. And I'll put a couple of oak boards up there so that they can't reach across, and we'll hope that they don't spill so many minerals, because the stuff is kind of expensive and I don't like it when they just dump it out on the ground. So I'm going to get some tools together and we'll get started.
Oh, be careful. Oh, Joy, be careful on this.
So we've got a partition up now. I don't think cows are going to be reaching across to get that. We've got 2 buckets on this side, 2 buckets on the other side, 1 bucket in the back. One might try and stick their nose through, but they're not going to be able to reach and grab the bucket from the other side. So hopefully this will help. We'll keep you posted on whether this worked or not. Some of you are wondering why I've got big hunks of wood here in front. That is because this was built to have a water trough in the front. So a little water trough would sit there, and then a hose would go to it and keep it full of water. And the additional weight would keep it from tipping over backwards. But if that's clear empty, and the wind blows or a cow leans on it, it just kind of tips up and tips over backward. There's not a whole lot of weight on this tongue. Pick it up real easy. So I put those blocks of wood in there just as ballast to keep the front end on the ground. Works most of the time. So we've got the partitions made. We'll give it a shot. I'm going to put the cows back out to the field where this came from here in a couple days, and we'll see if the minerals are doing okay. We'll take a look at partitions in our mineral cart and see if it worked out. Cows are ready to move. And I don't see any upside down buckets. Those look good. The only thing they did was throw some fence posts on the ground. Not a big deal. Looks like I need to give them a little more pasture this time around. Alright, we're out here this morning. We moved the cows over to today's pasture. And we're going to check out our mineral wagon. None of the buckets are on the ground. They're all upright. Day 2. So it may be premature to declare it a success, but I'm going to do it anyway. I declare that a success. 2 out of 2 days I didn't turn the mineral buckets over. So let's get them moved. Cows. Come on, 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 cows. Highlight of their day. Come on, cows. These are the newest ones. They don't quite have it figured out yet. Come on. Come on, cows. Get over there. There you are. So I wanted to take a minute to talk about the minerals. Now, back when cattle, or more accurately in North America, buffalo ran wild in this area, bison, they had long, wide range that they would travel. And today we can't do that because nobody wants cows running through their yard and eating their azaleas. So, or, you know, getting out on the road. That's also bad. But in their travels, what they would do is they would could smell around and identify different minerals that they require to be healthy. And they'll actually paw the ground and dig that up, you know, any kind of mineral that they are requiring, like salt. They'll find something that's a little bit salty, little dirt that's got a little bit of salt in it. Hard to find in this part of the country, but in the West it's a little more common, especially around Utah and stuff. And they would travel to those areas where the minerals were on occasion and lick the ground and get the minerals they needed to stay healthy. Well, we can't do that today, and so what we do instead is we provide them minerals, and they have free choice of these minerals. They don't need a lot of them, but they just they know what their body needs. They crave what they want, and then they come eat from it. That's why it's really important to keep good fresh minerals to your livestock so they get what they need to stay healthy. And that's what we do here at Blue Dog Farms. It's all part of the mob grazing regiment. You keep them pinned up so they compete for food, and they're more willing to eat plants that they wouldn't normally eat. And this is how it was when they roamed wild, because they had to stay in groups or they would get picked off by predators. Well, again, that's not the case today, so we keep them grouped up, and they do a better job of eating more of the feed that's available, which is actually more healthy for the animal. It's kind of like eating your vegetables and not just cake. If you just ate cake, it wouldn't be healthy for you either. And when you turn them out in a big area like this one and don't keep them confined to small spaces, you'll find they'll go around and eat whatever tastes good and leave the rest until it's old and tough and they're not able to eat it anyway. And a lot of that grass goes to waste, and they're not as healthy, in my opinion, because some of the stuff that they leave behind is actually rich in vitamins that they need. So we keep them pinned up in just a day's whatever they're going to eat in a day, and simulate when they were out in the wild and being hunted by wolves and and bear, they would stay in a group and compete for food in that group, and then they would move. And we try and simulate that as close as possible. That is one of the major points of mob grazing that we do here at Blue Dog Farms. So back to the mineral trailer. I think the partitions are working, and we're going to call this a success, even though it's only been 2 days. And this is Dan at Blue Dog Farms, head cowologist, and you have a blessed day.